Alright. Yeah, this video is explaining how I added threaded barrels to the Jennings J22. These are both Jennings, not Bryco or the newer Jimenez or Jimenez, however you want to pronounce it. Doesn't matter. I was just asked recently about making a using my threaded barrel adapter on this. I did this like last year and the year before I did these two guns. This is the original one. This is the second one I did. This is the chrome one. And how I did this is you can go on eBay and there's a 5-inch 22 long rifle barrel blank, I guess you would say. It's, you know, it's got a chamber and, you know, just crowned on the end. It's 5 inches long. It doesn't have a extraction groove or nothing like that. It's just simple. You know, do what you want to do with it. I don't know. But what I did is I cut it from 5 inches down to 3 inches. And the original barrel, which I have over there, is I think 2.5 is what it was. Cut it down, threaded the front half of it, and then put a SIG adapter onto that on the outside. And this being the reason is it's, you know, you have to put it on, get the spring on there, and then you can tighten it because you got to take the slide off for breakdown. That's the only problem I have with this gun. Is this concept means you can't permanently attach it like I do with my the Phoenix firearm I do and stuff. But either way, that's pretty much how that has to get done though. And yeah, you do that, thread it. You have to hand groove the pin thing underneath it, and then of course after you get that all in there, then there's the extraction groove, which is probably not going to focus. I literally hand filed that down after it was in here with a 1/8 of an inch square file I got, with a little file set I got, like I think maybe Harbor Freight, maybe, I don't know. I did it. It was very easy and it worked instantly. Did it on both guns that way. No issues doing it first time around. But I was asked about getting the original barrel and milling it down to accept the Walther adapter I do on the Phoenix gun, and then of course milling that down again, and then that way it uses the original barrel. But this barrel is only 9.5 millimeters thick. I mean, that would literally give a wall thickness of 0.75 millimeter after you've milled down the adapter that goes on it, which would look good, but that would leave a very, very thin wall with no backing. On the Phoenix that I do, it's inside that. Well, let me show it over here. And of course, that's inside. The barrel is housed inside of here, which gives it some meat. And I have it tapered down here, so it's not a 45-degree angle, you know, cut. So it's actually like mushroomed to the end there, and then I mill out the end of this thing for that. But you know, that's because that has strength backing it. This would not. So I would, if anybody thought about that, that's what I was asked, and I kind of thought about, and now unfortunately I realize, I remember that this is only 9.5 millimeters. Not much of a difference, but it would be. Plus, you know, having the two adapters together, I mean, I could smooth it down with some really fine sandpaper, but you got the spring right there, and the main reason would be it would eventually, that thin wall, that bothered me. Turbulence from the suppressor, it's too much with nothing, no backing whatsoever. So now that would not be I could do it just to try it, but I would not want to use one of my Form 4 suppressors on it. I'd use maybe a Form 1. That way, if it actually gave way while it was fired, it would be a really bad day. That would be a repair needed. But I don't know. I might do a better video on this. I really wanted to get the actual Jimenez 22 so I can do that one, because I don't know if that barrel sticker, I'm sure it's all exactly the same. I think the magazines are interchangeable. These two are this is I think the original version of this, because it's, I ain't gonna get into it, it's a long story though, but different, they actually did change a little stuff on the inside, and I actually had to get a different slide for this one. It's from the later model like this one, and I actually had to mill and adapt the firing pin because they did make a change, and I know why they did that, because of the wall thickness inside the nickel they have inside on these things. But I can get into that. That'd be another little story to tell sometime. But But that's how it's done. I don't have any, I do have some shooting videos, I think, but I'm not going to post any of those right now, though. But it's a cute little gun. I just don't use it. I'm not going to lie. It's nice, and it suppresses fine, and it functions flawless, suppressed. Then again, everything I've fired functions better with a suppressor, I've always noticed. Gives a little more of a blowback. But, alright, well, unfortunately that is not a thing I can do with this gun. I mean, and this is something I thought about I could do, maybe, and sell, but it was a lot of work. I'm not going to lie. I didn't have the right size file for this pin groove, so I actually used a square one and a triangle one to make like a star shape for where the pin went in. I literally had to file it, put it in, see if it fits, and it was like, that was the longest process, was getting that perfect so it wasn't messed up. And of course, I didn't mention that the barrel that I bought, this thing was only like, I think it was like 2 or 3 thousandths of an inch thinner. And I read somewhere else, someone else had gotten the barrel and he put some Loctite in there. I actually I used an aluminum can shim. It's a 1/2 inch right here. I shoved it in there, shoved the barrel in. I did it 1/3 of the circumference, so it's 1/3 the diameter. Laid it on top, had it sticking out to here. Shoved the barrel in nice and tight. Put the pin in, and I just cut away the the razor blade, the aluminum right there. That way you have your sight picture stays the same. I'm assuming the guy that did with, I don't know, with the JB Weld or whatever he did. I mean, of course you do that, it's permanent. That's a done deal. You can't change it. I don't like true permanent things. I really don't like it. But all right, well, any questions about that, really? I wish I had a video of done it, but this was like last year and the year before I did these two, and it was just for the hell of it. All right.